All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, again. My name is Jay, and today we're gonna talk about why I make sobriety content. But first, if you haven't yet, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you care about your sobriety as much as we do, then make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. All right, let's get started. So the reason why I wanted to make today's episode is because over the last month, we've been fortunate enough to have roughly 2,000 new subscribers. And what that means to me is not just the channel growth, but it's very important to me to continue making sobriety content because I remember what it's like to be in the early stages of sobriety. I remember what it's like to be thinking about how my life is and how I wish that my life would be. When I was in early sobriety, I thought to myself, well, something needs to change. I thought to myself, my life is out of balance. I thought to myself, I can keep affording to drink. I can keep affording to party. I can keep affording to burn the candle at both ends. But eventually, it takes enough of a toll on you mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And part of why I continue to make sobriety content, first of all, I ask myself questions sometimes, like, how much sobriety content can I possibly make? How many topics can I possibly think of? And the good news is I have at least 400 more ideas that I've yet to publish. So if you're curious about the longevity of this channel, then don't worry, there is plenty more to come. And also today I wanted to point out that this is not a scripted episode. And part of the reason, or part of the fact that we have so many new subscribers to the channel is back in the day, I don't know how many of you have taken the time to watch all of our videos, but when I first started this channel, which was 4.5 years ago, there was no script. It was definitely, the production value wasn't as high as it is now. Even though I am a professional photographer and videographer, I just kind of was like limping in, just kind of like how we all kind of limp into sobriety in the early days, right? We're just kind of like, well, let me see what the minimum amount of work I could do is and try to get the maximum amount of benefits, right? So I would say if that's your mentality, which I'm willing to bet that's a lot of your, it's a lot of people's mentality in early sobriety. It's like, how little work can I do but still hope to get the maximum amount of benefits, right? We always have to step up our game. We always have to elevate our game. And I know that a lot of people are still new to this community, and maybe not a lot of you are familiar with the content that we make and the style of the channel. Other than that, we make sobriety videos. So I wanted to take a moment. I wanted to take this opportunity with this episode to reintroduce myself. Hi, I'm Jay. And in the early days, up until from episode 1, which was 4.5 years ago, until about episode number 90, they were unscripted, like this one is right now. It's just me just kind of freestyling, talking off the top of my head. I have no scripts. You could tell because I'm not looking into the camera, that's where the teleprompter is, but there's nothing for me to read off of. But that was the kind of style in the beginning. It was more raw, there was more feeling, there was more emotion. I felt like I get to be a little bit more goofy and silly and use my hands a little bit more. And then after about episode 90, I kind of wanted to trim the fat and get rid of the stutters and the ums and the likes and the tongue clicks and all the errors and make it really sharp and polished and focused. Right? And I know that there's different schools of thought here in the community. Some people like the older videos better, and some people like the newer videos better. And then if you're a younger person, maybe you only like the shorts because they're 1 minute or less, right? So here at the channel, we have 1 minute shorts. We have the regular format videos, which are anywhere between, say, 8 minutes long to about a half an hour long. And then on Sundays, when we can spare the time, we'll do our 2-hour live streams, which we are here live on Sundays, and we talk to you, we read articles, we have a good time, we talk about ways to improve our mental health, our physical health, and to steer clear of whatever our addictions are and however we were out of balance. See, that's an instance where I would have cut and taken that out, but everything's staying in today. I'm not making any cuts unless, I have to clear my throat or something. But so welcome to the community. First and foremost, I want to thank you all for being here and for everybody that's taken the time to leave lovely comments. If you want to pause the video right now and leave a lovely comment for me or somebody else in the community, feel free to pause right now. And that's what it's all about. It's all about community, because why I wanted to start this channel in the first place is because I didn't have community. I didn't have anybody that I could talk to. I didn't have anybody that I could reach out to. I only knew 2 of my peers that even went through the road of sobriety or recovery or whatever. And I personally haven't gone to AA. I haven't read a single book on quitting, AKA Quit Lit. Though in the comment section or in the video description down below, there is a link to our website, and we've linked, I think, over 50 books to buy them on Amazon. So if anybody's interested in different books on how to get sober or quitting other habits or addictions like cigarettes or whatever, you can click the link in our video description, goes to our website, has all the thumbnails of all the different books, click on one, goes to Amazon. Sound good? So you have that resource, and there's plenty of other resources down in the video description down below as well. So I want to thank everybody for being here. You know, I want to refamiliarize myself with the community, especially the new people that are here, the new people that are maybe feeling still a little bit aimless, a little bit hopeless, still not really sure where they're going to go with their sobriety journey, how to continue being sober. And I want to remind you of a couple of things that I've learned over the years, not just from being in your position. Yes, I was in your position, right? And but also too, you know, giving you a little bit of perspective on what it's like on this side of the camera. You know, I take great pride in being one of the only YouTubers that takes time out of my day to respond to as many comments as I possibly can. Right now, I'm about 5 days behind. So I'm planning an oil change this coming week, and I'm gonna sit at the dealership while they're taking the 2 hours to do the car oil change, and I'm gonna respond to everybody's comments that's, you know, going back to this, I think roughly the 4th of July or whatever, and get caught back up. And, you know, for those of you that know, the 4th of July was Cat Mom's birthday, my actual mom. Happy 70th birthday to Cat Mom. And so we celebrated, we took her out for a week to different cities, different restaurants, different museums, and did all kinds of awesome things sober. So that was a great time. But, you know, so one of the things I want to talk about on top of refamiliarizing everybody here in the community is, you know, reminding you of some of the basic principles that I've learned, not only on my own journey, but also too from other people's journeys here in the community. So again, I take great pride in this being a community. I take great pride in the fact that the comment section is open, and I am going to respond to you. I responded to, I have no idea. There's no official counter, but if I had to guess, I've personally responded to, not just giving a heart, but like actually responded to at least 10,000 comments. I don't have any staffers, I don't have any interns. Sam works with me on the live streams. Other than that, I host these videos, I produce the videos, I'm the videographer, I'm the sound person, I am the editor. When they are scripted, I write the scripts, I rewrite the scripts, I work on it, I polish it, I curate all the community posts, built the website, I do all of that. And I do that to show you that I care. I do that to help to restore your own faith in humanity and to also show you what's possible. And I know that more is possible, and I pray every day that I have the strength to do what I need to do, how I need to do it, and when I need to do it. And before every single time that I step in front of this camera, just like today, I pray that I say what I need to say, when I need to say it, and how I need to say it. And those things are important because sometimes, especially when our life is out of balance, whether it be with alcohol or different substances, we always say that there's only two reasons why people drink, or there's two main reasons why people drink. The first reason is to feel better. And the second reason is to escape. So this might be an opportunity to comment down below. What was your reason? It was probably both, you know, being honest. We always wanted to drink to feel better, and we always wanted to drink at some point to escape. I know that life has a way of piling up on us, whether it be the bills, our relationships, our romantic relationships, our personal relationships, our work relationships. It all adds up. And the older that we get, the more out of tune and out of focus and out of touch we become with what our dreams and our aspirations are or were when we were a much younger version of ourselves. And we keep looking in the mirror, not really sure if we like who's looking back at us, right? We look in the mirror and we start to wonder, are we ever gonna be everything that we hoped that we could be? Are we ever gonna add up to the potential that other people saw in us? Or if you're in a relationship, maybe if you're married, you know, wondering if you're still even the person that your spouse said I do to, right? And those are some of the reasons why I make sobriety content. You know, part of my inspiration was, you know, going back, you know, when I started the channel 4.5 years ago, it was at least 10 years prior to that. I'm 41 now, I know. Hard to believe, but I'm 41 now. And, you know, just like you, I was drinking early in my 20s. I didn't start actually drinking until I was 21, right? I'm one of those rare people. I drank one time. I drank one time when I was 19 and puked my brains out at a party. I remember because nobody knows how to drink. You know, there's like nobody at the parties like, hey, hey everybody, we're all gonna be drinking. Remember that the body can only process one unit of alcohol per hour. You know, and you're just like, oh, what's a unit of alcohol? Is that one beer? Is that one Four Loko? Is that one full glass of wine all the way to the top? Nobody tells you that, and nobody's gonna do the research, right? You know, now we have our phones, our smartphones in our pocket. We can grab any information that we want in a flash, right? But back when I started drinking, just like a lot of you, when you first started drinking, you learned how to drink in a very toxic way. You learned how to do a toxic thing in a very toxic way, right? It wasn't until I went to college when I was 21 that I think it was during like freshman orientation that they started telling us like, hey, your body can only process 1 unit of alcohol per hour. So for those of you that are going to be maybe the party lifestyle, you're going to be going off campus, or maybe, you know, whatever, you're going to be doing whatever you're going to be doing during your college years. That made me start thinking. But of course, you know, when I was 19, I had no idea. Went to a party. I remember it was Southern Comfort was the thing I drank. And I remember talking to one of my buddies, I was like, look how much I could drink. And I just was chugging straight out of the bottle. And sure enough, within 30 minutes flat, I was violently vomiting in my buddy's, it was my friend's dad's house. We were still like, it was still the high school town that we lived in. I was puking in the sink where there were still dishes. They got me like a trash can from a bathroom or from a bedroom, and I was puking. I was laying on the couch in front of the TV in the living room. Everybody was in the living room watching TV or me vomiting into a trash can. And then eventually I wandered my way into the bathroom, and that's where I spent the rest of the night, right? So that was my first experience drinking. And then I said the magic words, I'm never drinking again, right? And then so fast forward 2 years later, when I was 21, I started drinking because I had an actual ID, right? But long story short, you know, starting at 21, I'm 41 now, that's 20 years, right? So I quit drinking this last run, started the channel 4.5 years ago, have this recent streak of sobriety going on 2.5 or a little over 2.5 years or whatever it is now. So it was like 18 years of essentially binge drinking whenever I can afford it, you know, and luckily for those drinking days, I guess, luckily, unluckily, I was able to afford drinking whenever I wanted to, or at least I made it a priority. And that's one of the things I want to point out to you. You know, it's like when we need to reframe our minds when it comes to alcohol and our relationship with alcohol, it is in fact a relationship. And is it a healthy relationship, or is it a very, very toxic relationship with alcohol? You know, you might be listening here in the channel and you might be new to the channel, or maybe you've never even heard of this channel before, and you're like, well, there's nothing wrong with having a glass of wine a day or whatever. Of course, there are different levels of drinking. You can definitely drink in moderation. Maybe you have a healthy balance with alcohol. Maybe you only drink once a week. Maybe you only drink once a month. Maybe you only drink on special occasions, right? But this channel is more so geared for people that feel a little lost with their drinking habits, right? Their drinking habit has become a deep drinking preference, and it's chasing them throughout the day. You know, when you're at work, you're thinking about drinking. When you get off work, you're thinking about drinking. And then you go to the gas station, you go to the liquor store, you go to the grocery store, you grab your 6-pack, 12-pack, your bottle of wine, your bottle of liquor, or whatever it is, and then you go home and then you drink, or you go to happy hour and you drink, and then you get home from the happy hour and you make dinner and you drink, and then with dinner you're drinking, and then after dinner you're drinking, and then, you know, you're sitting down doing Netflix or Hulu or Prime or whatever, and then you're drinking, watching a movie, you're drinking all the way till it's time to go to bed, right? And then you're waking up every day hungover. So that's kind of the state of mind that's attracting people to this channel, and that kind of raw honesty that we bring to the channel, right? And I always like to tell people, remind people, like, I don't have anything to sell you. I'm just one person that is dedicated to this mission of trying to help people to be their best and do their best. I'm trying to help you one video at a time. And now this is going to be episode number 173, though in the channel we have over 500 videos, and I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of, even if you just watch the numbered episodes, which are in this current playlist, there are 173 videos. And so that would take you through the first half of the year as motivation. I know we have people in the community. Comment down below if you watch at least one of our videos every single day, right? Other than that, I don't have anything to sell you. I make the videos, they're free, they're online, you can watch them whenever you want to, you can save them, you can share them, and I would like to please ask that some of you also take the extra step maybe pause the video right now. Can you copy a link to one of our best videos and share it on Facebook, or share it on Reddit, or share it on Twitter? Or if if you are on a Reddit group or Reddit thread, maybe you can post it on one of the sober groups there, or any sobriety communities that you may know of, right? Because the message is clear, right? We want to help people to be and do their best. I don't have a book to sell you. I don't have a program to sell you. And I'm not knocking anybody's hustle, but I know that some of the other sober content creators out there are charging as much as $6,000 to help you get sober. And if that works, cool. Whatever you can afford, right? But we make good, honest, wholesome, mostly wholesome content to help you to do and be your best. Why? Because I personally have a mission. Outside of sobriety, I feel like it's one of my personal missions to make this world and to leave this world a better place than I found it, right? I still haven't had a child yet. I don't know if I ever will, but if I happen to be so lucky to be a father someday, I would like to at least make sure that I'm doing what I can do to help to make this world a better place. And how I'm doing that with this channel is trying to help motivate, inspire you all to be your best, so that you will let your light shine, so that if you were like me and you didn't know anybody in your friends group or family group that was sober, or that could help you get sober, and maybe you were scared, you don't want to admit that you had a problem or whatever it was, because you felt like the people in your life, your friends, your family, your coworkers or whatever, would maybe judge you, right? We know that people can be judgy. And we right here in this community, we practice what's called no judgment sobriety. And again, that's another thing that I'm very proud of. So if you're not familiar with that, definitely get used to it, because that's what we practice here. No judgment sobriety. I don't want to make you feel like, and it's never going to happen here in this community, where you're ever going to feel like anybody's judging you. And I don't care if this is your first time trying to get sober, or if it's your 100th time getting sober, or if it's your 7th time trying to get sober this week. I know just as well as you do that it's important to you to be your best self. I know that it's important to you to realize and maximize your potential, to be the person that you deserve to be, and that your friends deserve to have, and that your family deserves to have. In the sobriety journey, we always say that it takes 4 things. The first thing it takes is preparation. You got to prepare for this sobriety journey. Just like any journey, you have to prepare. You have to know where you're going, what you're going to do, how many provisions you need. If you need to call off work, you need to call off work, right? You need to save up some money. You need to save up some money. You need to pack some clothes. You need to fill up the gas tank, whatever it is. And of course, that's all a metaphor for how you need to prepare for your own sobriety journey, right? So the first thing you need is preparation. The second thing we're going to start doing is we're going to start practicing our sobriety journey, right? Is it practice makes perfect? No, it's practice makes progress. You are practicing sobriety. You're not going to get it right every day, okay? And if and when you find yourself relapsing, if and when you find yourself on what we like to call a detour, because remember, sobriety is a journey, right? So if you find yourself on a sobriety detour, it's your job to do what? Look around, ask yourself how you got there. And if you ever find yourself getting lost, if you were lost in your car, would you just stay lost? Would you just buy the closest house that was nearby and just move in and start your new life there? No, you wouldn't do that. You would find out, how do you get back to the road? How do you get back to the highway? And how do you continue on your journey? Okay, so we're going to prepare for our journey. Then we are practicing our journey. And while we're practicing, we're going to do something that maybe we haven't done our entire life, is we're going to be patient with ourselves while we are practicing. We're going to treat ourselves like, we're going to think about that inner child, right? We're going to think about, how do we nurture that inner child? How do we respond? How would we like to be talked to? How would we like to be treated? Because it's your job to treat yourself the way you need to be treated. We always say that the most important relationship that you're going to have with anybody is the relationship that you have with yourself. And the last thing, we like to call these the 4 Ps: preparation, practice, patience, and what's the last one? You need to be persistent. You need to be persistent in your sobriety, meaning that if and when you find yourself during the practicing stages, because every day we're practicing, it doesn't matter if you're 1 day sober, 1 year sober, or 10 years sober, every day there are going to be new challenges. There are going to be new opportunities to solve new problems. The problems that we used to solve with what? Alcohol. Those feelings that you didn't know how to deal with because you wouldn't spend the time sitting with your feelings, thinking about how you need to respond to those people, to those places, to those things, to those triggers, to those anxieties, and to those stresses. And what would we all do? We would all just go grab a bottle and we would just numb those feelings until they went away, until we just magically didn't care anymore. And then we would just pass out and then just let it be tomorrow us's problem, right? We always like to say that getting drunk today borrows from tomorrow's happiness. It's like charging today's ambitions to the credit card of your future. And then future you wakes up and then looks at Bill and says, oh no, what have we done? There's yet another charge on here. There's another to-do on here. There's another relationship that we need to mend. He got into another argument last night with somebody, another problem that we have to fix, right? And the things keep adding up. So what sobriety allows you to do, I know it sounds kind of scary. Oh, why do I have to fix all these problems that I got myself into? Eventually, yes. And that's all part of the practicing, right? And it's all part of being persistent along your sobriety journey. So all of those things I wanted to remind you, and I wanted to welcome you all to being here in this community, in this wonderful channel called Getting Sober, ... Again, if you have any questions, what do you need to do? Comment down below. I will get back to you in the order in which they were received when I get time. I still have to work and I still have to keep a roof over my own head too, okay? And for those of you that want to help support this channel, please consider also supporting us via Patreon. There's a link down in the video description down below, or you could just join as an official member of our YouTube community by clicking the join button right underneath this video for as little as $2.99. So I'll ask you, has this channel benefited you? For those of you that have a month sober, 2 months sober, 6 months sober, have you saved money? Have you seen your health improve? Have you seen your mental health improve? Has your life improved? Have you started to believe in yourself? Have you started to become the better version of yourself that you always thought that you could be, but you can never really achieve? So if there's other ways that you can help support this community and support this channel, you could do one for free. You can give this video a thumbs up. You could do another one for free. You can leave a comment down below. You could do another one for free by sharing one of our videos on Facebook, on Reddit, on Twitter, online somewhere. Tell a friend, text a friend, send an email to somebody that I'm willing to bet that you know somebody who maybe could benefit from being sober. Comment down below if you know somebody that could benefit from being sober. And that brings me back to another point that freestyling right now. Another point I was talking about earlier. One of the points of getting sober and part of my mission to make this world a better place is when you become a better version of you, what are you gonna be able to do? You are gonna be able to be the person that your friends don't have. None of your friends are sober, right? Most people's friends aren't sober because we all have drinking buddies, right? So when your friends who probably need to get sober don't know who to turn to, and then you get sober, guess who they now have in their life? They have you or your family members, right? I'm sure that we all have family members, right? Which is maybe why we dread going home for the holidays, Thanksgivings, Christmases, whatever, because maybe we don't want to have to talk to that aunt, that uncle, that cousin, that nephew, that niece, whoever it is, because we know that maybe they have a drinking problem. Maybe they know that they get a little abrasive, they get a little aggressive. But when we get sober, it gives us, again, more opportunities to solve new problems that we used to solve with drinking alcohol. And you can be a light in the darkness. You can be the motivation and the inspiration that they maybe need, because all of a sudden you're showing up looking better. Maybe you lost some weight. Maybe you took the time while you're getting sober to go to the gym. Maybe now your eyes are bright. You don't have the dark circles under your eyes or the baggy eyes. You don't look tired. You have a better complexion. All of a sudden it's just like, what's new with you? What's changed? And then you can tell them, like, oh, I was drinking a lot. I was drinking way too much and I was spending way too much money. And I was just kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was just sick and tired of looking in the mirror and seeing these dark circles under my eyes. I was tired of looking at my bank account and never having enough money to really do anything that really mattered in my life. But I always seemed to find a way to have enough money to get drunk, right? And I know that you're tired of being that person. And I was tired of being that person. That's why I continue to make sobriety content. That's why I'm still focused on the mission. That's why I still pray every day to have the hope and the motivation and the inspiration to do this for you and with you, and that someday that you will help to make the world a better place and help inspire and motivate the people in your community, wherever you are, whether you're here in the United States, if you're in Canada, if you're in Mexico, if you're in New Zealand, Australia, if you're in the UK, wherever you are, comment down below, where are you from? Because now we have so many people from around the world, and the mission is the same and the message is the same. It's to get sober, be sober, and then do what? stay sober. And then when you have the strength and the courage to do something more with your newfound superpower of being sober and having all of a sudden so much extra time for new activities during the day, you can start taking on new hobbies, whatever it is, kayaking, tennis, cycling, exercising, hiking, mountain climbing, rock climbing, whatever it is. Comment down below. What are your favorite sober hobbies? What have you picked up since, what good habits have you also picked up? Are you eating better? Are you exercising? Are you now also going to therapy? Are you using the I Am Sober app, or are you going to AA? What is it? How has your life improved since getting sober? Has your blood pressure gone down? Have you gotten off the medications? I would love to hear from you. And again, this is now your opportunity to help motivate and inspire people down in the comment section down below. So with that, I want to wish you good luck on your sobriety journey, and I will see you in the next video. If you want to see another one of our videos, click here.